Welcome to the Purple Positivity Podcast for April the 11th, 2018. It's 411. How about that? I'm your host, the amazingly adorable Rebecca Thistle, podcasting to you live-ish from my kitchen/dining room table in my apartment, which I called Jeffrey Thistlework. Yay! So, about a year ago, at my job, I assemble pens, but about a year ago, they had us start assembling these lanyards, and, at first, everybody hated them, because what it is you put this little, buckle, it's a shoestring, and you put a little buckle thing on it, and then there's this, plastic, bolo tie length adjuster type thing. That's what we call it. We call it the bolo tie piece. And so you have to put the two ends of the shoestring through the bolo tie thing, and then connect them, and then once they're through, you connect them at the top with a little rubbery tube, right? And, at first, the only way to get the ends of the shoestring through the bolo tie part was to twisty-turny, and so it would take a minute and a half to assemble one freaking lanyard. And your wrists would be tired, and and your fingers would hurt. And I mean, we're used to our fingers hurting because, you stab yourself with pens every now and again. You get used to it. But it was really frustrating. And, and in order to make quota on these things, we needed to be assembling one about every 30 to 45 seconds. And here it's taking us a minute and a half. And then we got frustrated enough with it, and somebody from the main office in San Angelo said, look, just use a paperclip to push the ends of the shoestring through the bolo tie part, and it'll go faster. And we were like, oh no, because what if that breaks the shoestring? Yada, yada, yada. Trust me, it won't. So we gave it a try. And miracle of all miracles. Well, I gave it a try. I don't know about my other coworkers. I think one of them uses a yarn needle. I don't know if everybody uses a paperclip per se, but I use a paperclip. And so lo and behold, it started working. And so within about, I guess, 6 weeks of starting lanyards, I went from barely doing 2 or 3, maybe 400 a day to not only meeting, but exceeding 745 quota. That's how many lanyards we're supposed to assemble in a day. And, and now lanyards are my favorite thing to assemble. If I literally, last Wednesday, I guess it was, I started out the day doing, one type of pen, and then once I'd, done a certain number of those, I got switched over to lanyards. I lost my shit. I was just jumping up and down and squeeing with delight. I was like, yay, I get to do lanyards. I love doing lanyards now. That's not normal, by the way. I know it's not normal. I was so excited, and I said to one of my coworkers, I said, yes, I know it's not normal to get this excited about doing lanyards. And she said, yeah, it's not normal. It's also not normal that I want to chase you around with my water bottle and beat you. I said, yes, that's not normal. We are very not normal people, and it's awesome. Anyways, lanyards. So my other coworkers, I don't know what their numbers look like on the lanyards, but they know that I assemble the fastest. My numbers are probably the best out of everybody. Maybe a close second to somebody else that I'm not aware of. And so they sometimes they'll say, like, Becca, we don't understand. Like, how are you doing this? Like, what are you doing that's special? And I'm just like, I'm not really doing anything that's special. I use a paperclip. I've got determination and a paperclip. Boom. There's the title. So you were wondering. Determination and a paperclip. Which makes me feel like, who's that guy? MacGyver. Determination and a paperclip. And, you know, I think about that so much, is that sometimes all you need is the desire to do something and one small tool to make things a little easier. Like, I remember after I lost my vision, the summer of 2004, I just graduated high school, I just lost my vision, I was horrifically depressed. My grandmother, I was living with my grandmother, and grandmother sat me down, and we were having a conversation, and she said something to me that I will never forget. And I will always appreciate. And she said, you know what, Rebecca, because she calls me Rebecca for some reason. She says, you know what, Rebecca, as long as your heart and your brain are working, there's nothing that can stop you except you. And that always stuck with me. I know on some level she thinks that I don't appreciate the wisdom that she's imparted onto me. But that stuck with me. My heart and my mind are still working. And so there's nothing that I can't do. And maybe I need a small little tool like a paperclip to get through, to make things a little easier. So I could reach my goals, no matter how silly they may seem to other people. I hate when I start crying on this show because I never mean to. But that's all I have. You know? That's all I have. It's determination and a paperclip. And if that can make my job bearable and make my life tolerable, that's all right. Determination and a paperclip. So, you know, and I mean, obviously that's a metaphor. Because, you know, I think to sort of, you know, broaden the view of this idea, I've got this dream that I'm pursuing. This grand life that I have envisioned in my mind. And the means that I'm using to achieve that end involve podcasting. So, in another sense, this podcast and the Lit Nerd podcast, and possibly I may be starting a third podcast. I haven't decided yet. Well, I think I've decided that I'm going to. I'm just sort of developing it. Anyways, but I've got determination and a podcast. And this podcast is my paperclip. But it doesn't have to be something big. You know, small. I always see this whenever I go, like, you know, motivational quotes or whatever in Google image search. I always see this at some point. Supposedly it's an African proverb. It says, anyone who says that size doesn't matter has never spent the night with a mosquito. Or something to that effect. So, you know, I guess the point that I'm trying to make is little things matter. Little things that we can use to achieve our goals are significant. You know, I wanted to make quota on the lanyards a year ago. And all it took was me saying, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to use a paperclip to help me. That's all it took, was determination and a paperclip. And now, like I said, not only do I meet quota, I exceed quota. My supervisor got a call, I think this was a couple of weeks ago. She got a call from the main office in San Angelo. Said, yeah, we need more lanyards. And she goes, oh, okay. Didn't realize that, but all right, we'll do that. And I'll get my fastest people on it. And I was the first one recruited because she knows that not only will I meet quota, I will exceed quota. So that was awesome. And I think assembling lanyards is the one thing that makes me go, all right, I'll go to work. Like, you know, like, I'm not feeling really good today. And I'm probably not going to be feeling really good tomorrow because we've got this crazy April weather here in Texas, and it's like on my allergies. And so I kind of want to take a day off and just sleep. But when I have that thought, I go, well, if I take the day off, I might not be able to assemble lanyards. What if she puts me on lanyards today? Like, you know, so, well, feeling good enough to assemble lanyards. Fuck it. So, but yeah, determination and a paperclip. All you need is the desire to do something and the smallest little thing to help you do it. My ukulele is another paperclip in my life, metaphorical paperclip. It's a tiny Hawaiian guitar. But I have this feeling that on some level, this ukulele is going to help me achieve my goals. How?